Welcome to Perhaps Today Global News, where the Bible is believed from Genesis to Revelation, and we know prophecy is history written in advance. With the convergence of politics, religion, and finance into a powerful global order, Perhaps Today Global News highlights the spiritual forces behind these headlines.
Please support our channel by shopping on our YouTube store.
Let's take a look a little closer at what's been happening this week again with Matthew 24 as the backdrop. Israel will invade Gaza's Rafah with or without a hostage deal, Prime Minister Netanyahu says. The Prime Minister claims during a TV interview where he suggested that Israel would invade Gaza and Rafah unless a hostage deal is struck. But he also implied that Israel would take military action if no agreement on a deal to return two Israelis held captive by Hamas. This continues to highlight the escalating tensions and war between Israel and Hamas. Next, dueling protesters clash at UCLA hours after police clear pro-Palestinian demonstration at Columbia. Now, before we talk about the article itself, let's talk about the headline. I find it humorous that they're being called pro-Palestinian instead of saying anti-genocide or anti-war. But the way the words are structured on your nightly news, in your newspaper, are to manipulate your thoughts and to get you to believe a perspective without actually having any facts. So here, these campus protests by students in Israel, or by students protesting what's happening in Israel and in Gaza, are really causing a lot of influx on college campuses. Again, highlighting what was the case during the civil rights era. Protests were taking on college campus. I think we all remember Kent State. Students were shot. I think we all remember 10 years ago, the Occupy Wall Street, where students were pepper sprayed as they sat arms locked in. And so people are more concerned about the protests and less concerned about what's driving the protest. Again, the protests are highlighting the ongoing war and rumors of escalated war in this Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Now, interesting enough, SideChat fanned the flames of university campus protests. So now you have individuals who are even using it to drive monetization and content for their platform. A social media platform called SideChat played a role in escalating university campus protests. SideChat allowed anonymous messages, facilitating coordinating among protesters and amplifying their grievances. It enabled real-time updates, strategic planning, and collective decision-making, ultimately fueling the momentum of protests. This digital tool became central at the movement, offering a space for participants to share information and organize actions. However, its anonymity also posed challenges, allowing for misinformation and making it difficult to hold individuals accountable. SideChat's impact underscores the evolving dynamics of social media in shaping modern protests and activism. And the one side note that I would say is it's still being observed by law enforcement at the local, the state, the federal, and international level. So if you do find yourself on these platforms or any social media platform, know that you are being surveilled. Next, Boston Dynamics, new humanoid moves like no robot you've ever seen before. Boston Dynamic unveiled its humanoid robot, the Stretch, designed for commercial applications like warehouses. The robot can handle various tasks, including moving boxes and other items, with a height of around 6 feet and a reach of 8 feet. Stretch is equipped with advanced sensors and software for navigation and manipulation, designed right now for warehousing. So, for all the jobs in warehousing, know over the next 5 years minimum, those jobs will change because they're going to employ robots to do the work. Staying in tech and AI specifically, excuse me, AI now surpasses humans in almost all performance benchmarks. The AI Index report for 2022 highlights significant growth and impact of AI globally. It showcases rapid advances in AI research funding and applications across industries like healthcare, finance, transportation. Notable trends include increased investment in AI startups and growing research output. Despite these gains, challenges still do persist, such as AI bias and ethical concerns. The report also discusses AI's role during COVID-19 pandemic, particularly in healthcare and remote work. Overall, the data-driven report underscores AI's profound transformation of society and emphasizes the need for responsible development and governance to maximize its benefits while mitigating risk. If you want to um, watch a little bit more in depth on the rise of AI and the importance of it, D. Bernard Webster and I had a conversation that you can find on Perhaps Today TV as well, speaking a little bit about that and some of the concerns ethically and financially. Next, BRICS to replace US dollar with cryptocurrency for trade. We spoke about the BRICS countries last week. Again, Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa are considering using a cryptocurrency as an alternative to the US dollar for trade transactions. This move is proposedly aimed at reducing reliance on the dollar and potentially mitigating the impact of economic sanctions. So they're already hedging against countries like the US and the UK imposing sanctions. The article does provide specific details for or official statements from BRICS countries regarding this plan and raising questions on its feasibility and implementation. Shifting gears a little bit, talking about food and land growing and just the land in general. Solar panels are spreading over Midwest farms and edging out the crops. And we have to understand as less land is available for food production and growing, expect the majority of your food to be grown in a lab. This article discusses the trend of solar energy development on farmland in the Midwest, highlighting its potential impact on agriculture and renewable energy. Farmers in states like Illinois and Iowa are leasing land for solar projects, providing additional income while allowing continued agricultural use beneath and around solar panels. This approach, known as, pardon me as I attempt to say this, agrivoltaics, is seen as a way to support both food production and clean energy goals. However, challenges such as land use conflicts and soil preservation need to be addressed. This article talks and underscores the evolving landscape of renewable energy deployment and its intersection with traditional agriculture practices here in the Midwest. 8 newspapers sue OpenAI, Microsoft for copyright infringement. The battle for the control of information is brewing at the highest levels. Just know, Perhaps Today will continue to give you news that is not manipulated, nor is it being controlled or used to stray in your thinking. It's giving it to you straight and allowing you to use the scriptures to determine what's being said. So these 8 newspapers suing OpenAI filed a suit against OpenAI and Microsoft by the News Media Alliance, alleging copyright infringement. The lawsuit claims that OpenAI's GPT-3 language model was used to generate articles that closely resembled content from various news publishers without proper attribution. These articles were reportedly published on the Tribune Post website. The lawsuit highlights concerns about the misuse of AI technology and intellectual property rights in automated content generation. OpenAI and Microsoft have not yet publicly responded to the allegations, and we probably won't hear from them anytime soon. This case raises important questions about the legal and ethical implications of AI generated content in the media industry. Now, let's shift gears and check out our global weekly weather report. May 1, a magnitude 4.1 earthquake rattled the Los Angeles area. It struck near Corona, Los Angeles. On May 1st, the quake was centered about a mile south of Corona and felt across the region, including in Los Angeles. There were no immediate reports of significant damage or industries. This earthquake serves as a reminder of California's seismic activity and the importance of earthquake preparedness. Officials urge residents to have emergency plans and supplies in place. So, one in the LA area this past week, and one in the New York area the week prior. Scientists address speculation that extreme weather event in Dubai was manipulated. Show me the analysis, they say. We spoke of the flooding due to rain in Dubai on our news report last week. And not everyone is a believer that this was real. The recent flooding in Dubai and the role of cloud seeding in exacerbating the heavy rainfall. Dubai experienced unusually heavy rain, resulting in flooding in various areas. Cloud seeding, a weather modification technique, happens here in the US as well, was reportedly used to enhance rainfall. This led to unintended consequences with more rain falling than anticipated, causing flooding in parts of the city. The article also highlights concerns about its effectiveness and risk associated with cloud seeding, particularly in arid regions like Dubai. It underscores the need for careful consideration and monitoring of weather modification techniques to avoid unexpected outcomes like the recent flooding. Just for the record, and you can go back and check, we used to use weather modifications in warfare. The UN banned those techniques a couple decades back. But for those of you who are just arriving into the information age, do your research and find out how long weather modification has been happening. I would mention that the 2008 Olympics in China was the first time I realized they openly admitted globally that weather modification was happening. And I'll mention that it will always cause unintended consequences, whether it be in the local region or other places. Lastly, increasingly frequent ocean heat waves triggered mass die-offs of sea life and grief in marine, say scientists. This article discusses how ocean heat waves driven by climate change are increasingly causing mass die-offs of marine life. These heat waves result in high sea surface temperatures, impacting marine ecosystems and leading to widespread mortality among species such as coral, fish, and marine mammals. The article highlights recent incidents of mass die-offs linked to ocean warming, including events in the Gulf of Alaska and the Gulf of Maine. Such phenomena have serious implications for biodiversity, fisheries, and ecosystems, emphasizing the urgent need to address climate change and its effect on ocean temperatures to protect marine life and coastal communities. Again, if our ocean ecosystems and marine life are affected, again, that's affecting our food supply, which affects the animals that live in these environments. And it has a massive rippling effect on us humans who will one have to deal with not just the cleanup, but the disease that can rise out of all the death and stench that will happen. Again, beloved, I just challenge you to read Matthew 24, the Olivet Discourse, and see how true the scriptures are, because the headlines are highlighting what we know is prophecy, is history written in advance. Well, that is all we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to Perhaps Today Global News. Come quickly, Lord Jesus, perhaps today.